Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another game of Solohammer. Today is the first day of the spooky month, so we're going to have the scariest entities in Warhammer. Dark Eldar and Tyranids. Today's game will be a 550-point game of Solohammer. We have our usual rules. It is a smaller game with less than 1,000 points. It is only 3 rounds a turn, and it's to have as much fun as possible. If you can't have fun, I don't know what's wrong with you. So today we're going to do artillery on Tyranids. How am I going to do that? The Zoanthrope and a Biovore being represented by a Barb Gaunt is going to be all artillery pieces. The Carnifex is going to be using an artillery piece. Everything in this army is shooty. There's not a single melee weapon that's going to be utilized. Yeah. As for our Dark Eldar, they are very melee oriented. We've got a Archon with a power weapon. He doesn't really have melee attacks, but they don't have melee attacks. The witches are going to be our melee for this army. Which is really annoying, because witches are elite choices in 3rd edition, because they get the combat drugs, and for this one I think I gave them the one that gives them +1 attack. So instead of having 1 attack, they get 2 attacks in the charge. Actually no, 3 attacks plus 2. You'll see the madness. Also, this is supposed to be a blob of 2 units of 10, but I realized I only have like 17 actual 3rd edition Drukhari warriors. If you know where to find more, I just need 3. Send them my way. As you can also see, we have objective points on this map, so we'll be playing with objective cards. Now before you click off this video, because I see your finger there, stay tuned. We will be using these fabulous tomes from 3rd edition, because I love them. And if I do miss any rules that I clearly have in front of me, please tell me with as much disdain as possible. Alright, let's see who goes first. Red will be Tyranids, and black will be Drukhari. Tyranids go first. Alright, at beginning of turn 1, what card do the Tyranids get? Secure objective 6. That's not happening. The next one. Come on. Cooperate. Secure objective 4. Okay, we can attempt that. And then finally, secure objective 1. I can't move if I secure that objective. Oh my. Now we're going to begin the move phase, and if I secure that objective, I can do that with the Termagants, but I probably going to try to do it with the Swarmlord, the Hive Tyrant, since he has a range weapon, and I need to move up them if I want to get to objective 4. So yeah, time for movement. Okay, we have moved, and we are controlling at least 3 points. We have 1, we have 5, and we are within 3 inches of this one, so 3. Shooting phase. And there's going to be a lot of shooting. So, during our shooting phase, we are actually going to use the Fleet of Claw, which basically, during a shooting phase, roll a d6, and you can move that much. During the shooting phase, you just can't shoot. That will allow us to get into within 3 inches of the point we need to control. Alright, on to the actual shooting. 11 of the Termagants are actually within range to fire their flesh spores into this unit of lads. They are going to need weapons skill 3, so force to hit. And then it's strength 4 of the flesh spore, because it's +1 to the strength of 3, so 4 against 3, so 3 is to wound. They all wound. And the witches get a 6-up save. And only 2 fail. The High Terror is going to fire his Venom into the Archon. Hitting on 4s. Hitting on 4s. Alright. The Venom Cannon is strength 8. And the toughness of an Archon is 3. So it's 2s to wound into death. It's dead. He's dead. He doesn't get a save. I'm sorry. Since that is a Warlord, that is 3 points to Tyranids. The Zoanthrope is going to use Warp Blast onto this unit of Elves. It's strength 5 against toughness 3, so 2s to wound. 3 wounds. It's AP 3, so they don't even get a save. They're just deleted. Time for the Biovore. So the Biovore basically is an artillery weapon that shoots out spore mines. And yes, the nucleids are the spore mines this round. And they have a 40-inch range over the whole table. So, bloop. Bloop. Sadly, spore mines require 2d6. So, don't go too far. 2 inches into that unit. I think it goes behind the unit. So yeah, it went right behind them. And now it's effects. So the Pyrovore, you can use like different types of like area of effects, like poison, frag, and bioacid. I picked frag because it uses the Ordnance Blast Marker. Yeah, it uses this thing, which covers all 5 of that unit. That's 2s to wound. All but 1 wound. It's also AP 5, but all but 1 are dead basically. Poor bastard was allowed to live only because the rest of his party took the bomb for him. Actually, I think that the Spore Man actually blows up too, so he's going to. Our little Red Ranger will need to take a leadership test because he is all by himself. I -1 though, so 7s. He's fine. He rolled a 6. Now everything I could not shoot was out of range, so we were going to be finished turn 1 Tyranids, which took 6 minutes for you, 20 minutes for me. At the end of our turn, we were able to secure objective 1. Yes. Where we have scored objective 4. Yes. Where we have scored 6. No, objective 6 is not happening. So, at the end of my turn, we're discarding that, and we're getting on 2 points. We also weren't able to wipe out that entire unit, so that is not a point to be given. So at the end of Tyranids turn 1, they've got 5 points. Eldar, turn 1. Drukhari, turn whatever. Let's see what cards they pull. Secure objective 5. Good luck with that. Big Game Hunter. Score 150 point if you kill a monstrous enemy or vehicle. We've got a few of those that you can deal out. And finally, secure objective 2. Maybe. Let's get moving. Now, before we move on to this phase, I want to say one thing. If it's a vehicle or monster creature, I'm allowing it to fire all of its weapons from now on. No matter what game I'm playing, that's what we're going to be doing. Because why else would it have all these weapons if it can only use 1 per turn? Alright, shooting phase. The witches are going to fire their splinter pistols into the Termagants, hitting on 3s. Wounding on 4s. Oh, it's terrible. It's AP 5, so 2 of them out front are just deleted. 20 shots from the warriors into that unit of Gaunts, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 4s. That's a lot, but AP 5 making 9 dead Termagants. The little Power Ranger is going to fire his blaster into the Hormagaunts over here, hitting on 3s. No. The Talus is going to fire its Talus Stinger into the Carnifex, hitting on 2s. And then it's Strength 4 against Toughness 6, so 6s to wound. We got 1 wound. Sadly, I upgraded the Carnifex to have Extended Carapace, so it's a 2-up save. He's fine. Barely. Yikes, that could have been a 1. I'm going to try to use this volley special rule, which basically means that when it shoots, it rolls to his normal, and then allocate the shots to the first, second, and the third closest models. Or units, I should say. Then again, I really wish this was a template weapon, because if it was, it'd be so much play easier. You know, we're just going to move on to the charge phase, because that rule's a hassle. Alright, these guys into the Gaunts. Luckily for us, the Talus is not a fast vehicle, so it cannot charge, sadly. But the witches definitely did charge. They did it between the actual takes, so they're going to start fighting the Gaunts. After doing a bit of a pilot move, we have 8 witches going to basically beat the hell out of these alien bugs. It's weapon skill 4 against 3, so it's going to be 3s to hit. And they get +1 on the charge, and they get +1 for the actual, combat drugs. So, 24 attacks hitting on 3s. And then it's strength 3 against toughness 3, so 4s to wound? Yeah, 4s to wound. Yikes. Now the bugs get their 6-up save. And only 2 survive. The bug is going to try to attack back, hitting on 5s. And 4s. Alright, 6-up save. And he's fine. So technically, the Drukhari won that bout, but they're within 12 inches of the Hive Tyrants, so they're not gonna run away. But they did lose that fight, which means they did lose the point. I think they're also more than 3 inches away from the point. Although, no, I want to say... yeah, they're definitely within 3 inches of that damn thing. But since they did lose the fight, I'm going to give this one to the Drukhari. At the end of Drukhari turn 1, they were able to secure objective... which objective did they do? They were able to secure objective 2. And, they can't get 1, and they weren't able to bring down the Carnifex, so... yeah. Tyranids, turn 2. Let's see what they pull. Let's see, they got... Assassinates. Kill 1 victory point, kill 1 enemy character. Can't use that, I've already killed him. Ascendancy. Score D3 victory points if you control any 3 objective marks within your turn. I can do that. Bastard. Psychological warfare. Fill a pinning test. I don't know if I can do that. Maybe. And secure objective 6. Okay. Let's start the movement. The Hive Tyrant's not going anyway. He's not going anyway, but I can move him. We're also going to move up this group of monstrosity. Alright, so the Termagants are holding the building. Like, all of them. The Carnifex is holding Objective Point 5. And, yeah. Time for shooting. So the Zoltan's going to use Warp Lance on the Talos. It's an automatically hitting psychic ability, so it hits, and it wounds on 2s. Can strength 10 against toughness, what, 7? 6? What do you... yeah, his toughness 7, and he gets knocked out by a 2. Yep, and strength 10, well, strength 10, it's not instant death, because it's not half, but he does take a wound, or a save. Yeah, he does get a save. 3 up. Oh, never mind. He's down to 2. Carnifex is going to fire his Barb Strangler into the unit of lads with his ordnance weapon. Lovely. That hits all but 2 models. 15 hits on 2s. Actually, no, it's wounding on 2s. Yeah. So that's also instant death because strength 8 against toughness 3, so 13 are just deleted. And to ensure that group is destroyed, Biowar is going to fire a spore right there. Will it stay? Yeah, that's covering those 4 models. 3s to wound. Okay, 2. 6 of save. 1. 8 of these Termagants are in range of the warrior group, hitting on 3s. Actually, no, 4s. It's strength 4 against toughness 3, so 3s to wound. Alright, 5 up save. And the Hive Tyrant is going to fire his Venom Cannon into the Talos, hitting on 4s. 3s to wound. 1. 3 up save. So yeah, I didn't know a shooting Tyranid army was actually valid. In a sci-fi shooting tabletop game. No, that doesn't make sense. These lads need to take a morale test. They all do. 7 up. He's... you? He's... good. And you? Alright, how far back is he falling back? 4. He stands with his brother. Although I think you're part of your own unit, or no. These 2 were back of a unit, of the same unit. I don't know how okay, I'll figure out something with you later. We're gonna move on to this combat phase, because I'm not charging them. Into that griefing. 3s to hit from the witches, because they still go first. And 4s to wound. And the bugs get their 6 of save. That's more than 6. That's more than... they're all dead. And thus ends Tyranid's turn 2. We have wiped out a majority of their army. And we still have a good army. We only lost 1 unit. Yikes. They do get a point for wiping out that 1 unit. But let's see what we were able to do during our turn. Were we able to secure objective 6? No. Okay. Ascendancy, D3 victory perks for owning 3 markers. We do have that. We have 3, we have 5, and we have 1. What about psychological warfare? We were scored by 2 point if it's failed the leadership test. We did do that, Dude had to run back, so we do get a point for that. DT for Ascendancy is at the beginning of Drukhari turn 2. Let's pull some cards. Alright, let's see what we get. Harness the Warp. We don't have any Psychers, so that's not happening. A secure objective 1. You're silly. Behind enemy lines. Go to victory points if you intelligence at enemy's table edge. We could try that. And then finally, secure objective. Christ. Alright, I guess we need to try to secure objective 1. Okay, let's be frank. The Tyranids have already won this game, but we're in turn 2. We're halfway through the game. And I still want to play. So let's see if Drukhari can pull something out of their asses. Okay, we're going to start with movement. We're going to move and we're going to move the witches. As for these lads, technically they can't regroup because there's less than 50% of them. They should be running back. This mad lad, I don't know. We're going to give him all morale check. This mad devil. He's right. This dude. He's these lad. The dude next to him. He's actually, I'm gonna make this painfully easy. I'm just gonna grab all these and just okay, I want to at least get something. So I'm gonna see if we can bring down the Hive Tyrant with a bunch of alright, the witches are gonna fire into the Hive Tyrant. 4 to hit. 6 to wound. 2. The Hive Tyrant has a 3-up save. He fails 1, and he takes. The Talus is gonna fire his Stinger Salvo, or wherever the hell it is, into the Fathead, hitting on 3s. It's not 3s, it's 4s, but they still. Strength 4 gets us 4, so 4s to wound. 3-up save. Okay, it wasn't a 2-up armor save. It's not an armor save. It's the 2+ warp field save that he has. So he's done a 1. And with that being that, we're gonna do our charges. First, the Talos into the Fathead, and the witches into the Hive Tyrant. The Talos gets D6 +1 from the charge, so 4. That's 5 against 3. 3 is to hit. 7 against 7 is 4, so 2 is to wound. 3. 2-up save. And he fails 1, so he's down. But they do go at the same turn, so let's see if the so the Fathead needs oh god, 5s to hit. Yeah, no, he's just gone. With his death, we go up to 2 points. And now for this mess. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. And the witches pull out a miracle. So, they just need to kill 1 wound on him. And they get so much for doing so. So, 4s to hit. Yeah, it's like 33 because they get 3 attacks each. 6s to wound. Okay, that's a fair amount. The Hive Tyrant's 3-up save. And he's dead. Yeah, so they can actually kill the Hive Tyrant. So with the Hive Tyrant's death and him being the Warlord, that's 3 points, so we go to 5. Let's see what the cards say. Behind enemy lines. We are definitely behind enemy lines. Secure objective 1. We did that. Secure objective 1. We did that. Damn. So, at the end of Drukhari turn 2, we are at 5 + 4, that's 9. And then 3 + 3, that's 6, + 2 equals 8. 8 versus 9. Killing that Warlord and getting to the back line basically is winning the Drukhari the game. Sadly, the Tyranids have a turn 3. But, at the beginning of turn 3, we have to acknowledge something very terrifying for the Tyranids. Their both synapse creatures are gone, which means we gotta do instinctive behavior. Before we start their turn, let's see what goes next. Secure objective 4. Okay, we'll see if we can achieve that. Secure objective 3. We're already on 3. We've been on it for like 2 turns. And secure objective 3. Okay, this is stupid. And the Tyranids need to take a restrictive behavior test. So, the Termagants. Nope, they failed. The Carnifex. 7. No, 6. What is this behavior? The Carnifex is leadership 10. Wait, they're all leadership. Oh, wow. Okay. Only, for some reason, only the Hormagaunts and Termagants are wow, okay. That's great. And the Biovore. He's fine. Let's see what instinctive behavior we get. 5. Attack! Okay, so I need to make a 2d6 attack, charge towards the nearest enemy unit. How far are these mad bugs charging? 5 inches. Okay, so that doesn't get us anywhere closer to anything. So the bad news is that doesn't actually get us into charge range. The good news is I still hold objective point 3. Because there's too many of them. Meanwhile, the Carnifex is actually just going to stare down the Talos. Not impressed. And we're just going to stay there. So I think we should be able to attack us normal, even if we didn't charge. So everything should be able to shoot for the Hormagaunts. Although someone's going to clarify it, because it doesn't say anything about not shooting or not getting into actual close combat. So I don't know. But I also think I'm not allowed to actually shoot, so I'm not going to shoot this turn with the Termagants. But I will with these two lads. First, we're going to pop a Spore Mine there and attempt to kill a whole mob in one go. Alright, 3's to hit. No, 3's to wound, so strength 4 against toughness 3. 3's to wound. Alright. 2 survived, 9 die, AP 5. I don't think they get their 6-up save. Yeah, 9 are just deleted. Now, I don't think shooting with the Carnifex is a smart idea, so we're just going to charge him into the Talos. So just, yeah. That's not weird at all. So the Talos has a higher initiative. Let's see how many attacks it gets. Gets 1 attack. 3's to hit. 6. 3's to wound. 1 wound. Carnifex has 2-up save. He's good. The Carnifex needs 4's to hit. And 2's to wound. 3-up save. Oh, he takes a wound. At the end of all that, the witches will need to take a leadership test. Yeah, so they're running. How far back do they run? 8. The Talos is fearless, so it doesn't need to make a morale test. And that is the end of Tyranids turn 3. Their last turn. Let's see what they got. Secure objective 3. So, technically we own it, but we're not really owning it. I'm pretty sure if you're, like, instinctive behavior cannot hold position, so we can't get that. Or the second one we have. As for secure objective 4, it's not happening. The Tyranids didn't actually kill anything this entire turn. Alright. Drukhari's last turn. So at the beginning of Dark Eldar turn 3, my words are not starting today, we would take a morale test to see if they passed. But they're less than 50%, so essentially they're gone. But before we completely give up on the Drukhari, let's see what they pull. No prisoners. Score a victory point if you completely destroy an enemy this turn. Maybe you destroy the Carnifex? Supremacy. Score a victory point if you can control at least 2 objectives. That's not happening. Hold the line. Score a victory point if your scoring unit is within 12 inches of your own board edge. Alright, well, thanks anyway. If anything, all we have to do is not die during this combat. Let's go first. He gets 2 attacks. It's better than 2's to wound. Okay. 2-up save. Oh, the Carnifex takes a wound. The Carnifex is going to attack back with its silent guns. 4's to hit. 2's to wound. 3-up save. And we're fine. So, at the end of Drukhari turn 3, their last turn, we were able to do 1 wound on the Carnifex, and that's it. But we have the greater amount of objective points. So technically, even though completely surrounded, we've won the game with Drukhari against Tyranids. To be fair, these two muscle monsters are made for each other. But yeah, if we weren't playing objectives, the Tyranids would obviously win this game. There's only 1 model left, and even though we've lost our snaps, we would eventually be able to whittle them down. In any case, thank you for watching, as usual. Like, comment, tell me what I did wrong, because even though I try to double check many times and make sure I rolled the dice correctly, I still need to be put in my place. Happy October. I'm gonna try to play or stream more horror games if I can get my streaming setup to actually cooperate with me this year. And yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. For those of you who are still here at the very end of the video, I'd like to thank you. Here are your 3 questions of the week. With October being here all of a sudden and out of nowhere, what is the horror game you're going to play the most this month, or you're going to try to play this month? What is your favorite dinosaur? Why? I've been playing a lot of Total War, and I like me some Lizardmen. And your final question is, what's your favorite video game? Or no, what's your favorite horror video game? We'll keep that in the whole thing. Yeah.